Deputy Boyd Barrett.
You were on a roll there. I thought I might just get this through on the back of all those other amendments that went through. If only it was that easy. Minister, the contribution I made earlier on, to a large extent, actually was more properly relating to this amendment. So that's why I didn't come in on the second round of the earlier discussion, and I assume why you didn't respond to the points I made. But let me just very briefly summarise them and hopefully give you an opportunity to respond. The COVID restriction support scheme is supposed to support people whose businesses are impacted as a result of COVID restrictions. We support that. And we support that businesses that genuinely have been impacted and whose revenues beyond a certain threshold have been significantly reduced or eliminated completely should get that support. We support you on that. What we cannot understand, as I said earlier on, is how, on the basis that they do not have a rateable premises, but they carry all the same sorts of costs that businesses that do have a rateable premises have to carry, are excluded from the scheme. It's just not fair. They have to make repayments on equipment, on cars, they have to pay fuel costs, they have to pay insurance costs. All of the things, and other overheads. All of the things that are the reasons the CRSS is in place. And yet, just because their premises is a taxi or a van or the cost of studio space for musicians, they're excluded. It's not fair. And I'd like to hear you tell me it is fair, but I don't see how you could possibly do so. So thousands and thousands of musicians, sound engineers, light engineers, that industry, the music industry that has been devastated, other artists and performers whose industries have been devastated, shut down since the beginning, whose art and music have helped sustain us through the pandemic, and they are excluded. It's not fair. It's not fair on the taxi drivers whose income, I mean, the 25% threshold of revenue is the threshold on CRSS. The taxi drivers are down 70%. Even with Christmas, they might go up a bit, but it's still going to be way down. How are they supposed to pay their insurance costs? How are they supposed to pay the repayments on their cars? What if their cars reach the 10-year limit and they have to replace it next year? How are they supposed to replace it? Okay, it's just not fair, Minister. This scheme should apply to them. And you heard the debate in terms of musicians erupt on the radio this morning. You know, very, very unfair and demoralising for those musicians. Many of them household names denied it. And fair play to the ones who got it, but 87% of those applied didn't get it. Because it was the fund was only less than €1 million. If you're not going to give them that award, give them some other supports to carry them through. So that's what our amendment is asking you to do. It's not just, we don't in truth just want a review, as the thing says. We actually just like to do it. Extend this to small businesses and lone traders, like the musicians, like the artists, like the taxi drivers, who need it.